What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogreboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1973 movie Robin Hood. So, in this movie with King Richard off to the Crusades, Prince John and his slithering minion Sir Hiss are set about taxing Nottingham citizens with support of the corrupt sheriff and staunch opposition by the wily Robin Hood and his band of merry men. This is a really fun movie. Robin Hood steals from the rich to give to the poor, and he's just a really lovable character. This movie has a lot of lovable characters. Little John is lovable too, but Robin Hood is just a really great Disney hero. He's one of my favorite out of the Disney animated heroes. I've always really loved him. I thought he's just a really likable character. But Little John is a really great sidekick to him, and I love that he's voiced by Phil Harris, and he looks like a brown version of Baloo from the Jungle Book and everything. Like this movie was made on such a cheap budget. They used a lot of the same animation styles for the characters from other movies and stuff. Like Hiss kind of resembles Caw, and there's even vultures that kind of resemble the vultures from the Jungle Book in here and stuff, and they used a lot of the recycled animation in this movie, especially in the Phony King of England song scene. There's like a bunch of parts when they're dancing that is reused from Snow White and the Jungle Book and even Aristocats and everything. But I love that song though. That's probably my favorite song in the movie. That one and Oodalolly Golly What a Day. I love both of those and everything. Jimmy Rogers doing the narration and the songs for it is awesome too. And it has some really catchy music in here. I just really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a lot of fun and everything. The animation, like I said, it doesn't hold up quite as well as some of the older Disney movies. This one and the Aristocats came out during the dark period of Disney, and so their animation isn't quite as strong as it was in stuff before it and stuff because of its budgets and everything. The studio was just in a really dark time, but what it lacks in animation, it makes up for in story, and the characters are just, like I said, really likable. You got the Robin Hood and Little John; they're both great, and Friar Tuck is really likable too. He's a really good character, and Madame Miriam is pretty good. But Prince John is probably one of my favorite Disney villains. He's just really whiny, and he should be annoying, but I find him more amusing than annoying and stuff. But he's not a very good king, and it's funny like how he pouts it all the time. And the Phony King of England song is just pretty much a song about roasting him and stuff. It's just one of my favorite parts in the whole movie and everything. It's really catchy, and I love some of the smaller characters too, like some of the citizens of Nottingham, the little kids and stuff, especially the little boy rabbit that wants to be like Robin Hood and gets to team up with him at the end of the movie. It's really cool and everything. I always love that character, especially as a kid. He was kind of like the character that the kids could relate to in the audience and stuff. He was always one of my favorite parts of the movie as a kid and everything, because it was cool getting to see a kid team up with a hero like Robin Hood and stuff, and Robin Hood didn't worry about him being a kid or anything. He just let him join him and everything. It was fun to watch this movie a lot as a kid, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it. It's not one of my very most favorite Disney movies, but it's one of the ones I've always really liked, and I've always felt like out of the time period this came in and everything during the Dark Ages is definitely one of the better ones. But I don't think most of the Dark Age movies are really all that bad anyway. but I think this is definitely one of the best ones out of that time period in Disney's history. And it's just a really fun movie and everything. This was the first one to not have any involvement from Walt Disney, because the Aristocats was at least greenlit by Walt Disney before he died. This one was the first one to come out that was one, I think, that Walt had talked about making a Robin Hood movie in animation, but I don't think that he ever got around, or well, I know he never got around to it, obviously, but I mean, I don't know for sure if this is one of the ones he talked about making, but I'm pretty sure it was. But I love Robin Hood. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a really good animated version of the story and everything. I heard they're doing a quote-unquote live-action version, which will be computer animated and everything. They can't just call it what it is nowadays. But I heard that there's a version coming to Disney Plus. I'm kind of curious to see how that turns out. Probably won't be real great, but it might be pretty good, who's to say. But this one is a pretty fun movie, so I give Robin Hood an 8 out of 10. It's really enjoyable and a really fun time. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Robin Hood from 1973. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.